Wow, got balloon.
I got balloon. Let me do
Oh
that again.
yeah.
Sometimes
I
it
didn't run out
appears.
already.
Yeah, mine cannot.
I got scared for a minute, like, whoa.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hey Biz Buds, the podcast. I'm Renee, your host for this episode, and I have here with me Liana and Manisha, Eleanor,
Hi.
Fitri, and also
Hello.
AJ.
Oh,
So we are here to talk about failures, specifically failing in business. So if you if you were to Google or look up on the dictionary, right, the definition of failure is basically lack of success. So which to me essentially means that failure can definitely turn into success because you have the option of trying over and over again. So in this episode, let's discuss failure. Let's be vulnerable because ultimately running a business is not about rainbows. It's not about butterflies. So maybe I can start first. I can share my experience of failing in business. Is basically when the part where it involves partnership. Like a failed partnership. So back in 2012, a few of us, where we are running our own business, we came together to form a partnership, and we had an office. So within my own business, which is the video business, I also had partners to work together in the business. And because I did not have any experience in people management, no experience in partnership as a whole, so some bridges got burnt, right? Because back then very young, and eventually the few of us, when we formed that partnership, we liquidate the partnership, which was actually a business on its own lah. So failing in business in this episode, I want to ask Fitri, because I know for a fact that Fitri has always knew that she wanted to start a business. And before she became a content strategist, she was running a business selling bookmarks, right, Fitri? Yeah.
Yep,
So maybe my first question to you, and maybe the rest also later can share your thoughts also. What were the key factors that you believe contributed to the failure of your business? You can share.
Naivety.
We all are, right?
Yeah, I think the whole bookmark business, when I started it was just to expand on my passions, to see whether
Right.
I'm into product-based businesses. Is this something that I can see myself doing? Or and yeah, but the more I do it, I realize when it comes to product, the logistic was one, and then I felt I needed help. So I was like, I knew that okay, if I set up a business, I need to have someone to help me. But and then if I need someone's help, I need finance ready. So it was a lot of things I want to do at one go. It wasn't slow progress. It was like I want fast progress. So it was a lot of wrong wrong things going on with me back then in that business. So that's why I say naivety, because I was alone. I didn't got help. I didn't ask for help. It was me just trying to figure out things as I go. And it's all of that just makes me uh because it became like a burden to think
Yeah.
about this. The more I push it, I like, why am I not progressing? Because I didn't have the right mindset. Why am I? Oh, why is it? Why is not? Why there isn't anyone buying the bookmarks? So that will be another marketing issue. So I was trying to progress very fast in a short amount of time. I was already in the spiraling down because I was comparing myself to others. So it was like so wrong back then, and I just stopped because I guess too much burden. I'm not enjoying mental well-being, not okay already. And yeah.
If I actually gather correctly from what you mentioned, it's more of like you were naive, you wanted everything to be fast, and I think you did also mention about mindset, about mental well-being, and these are some of the key factors that could actually contribute to the failure of your first business. How about the rest? If you want to chime in your thoughts, if you do have even failing in business, it doesn't have to be like you close that business. It can be like, for example, the example that I gave was I failed in partnership, because I did not know people management any better at that point of time. It was like more than 10 years ago. Who would have taught me about people management? I was so young back then, 20s. I'm not even 30 to even know, about people management, finding things, all that. So I failed in that portion. So it can be failing on certain part of your business. It doesn't have to be closing down that particular business. Anyone can chime in.
I think that it's the reverse for me. I've
Right.
closed a lot of business.
Right.
I didn't necessarily fail in them.
Yep.
So I remember to give, like, from I was 11 years old, I used to sell stickers.
Mm.
And then it just died off because I grew up, I guess. And I was like, oh, I have to do exam. Let's not sell stickers anymore. So I never failed. I just closed, you know.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to the next thing and then the next thing. And I made money, but like it was just for me, like my businesses, all those ideas were like phases, you know. That lesson taught me that hello, you don't have to always have phases business. You need a proper one.
Phases
That was the
business, okay.
lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those ideas, like, oh, so fun, so fun. I still do it. You guys know me. I
Yeah.
still do it.
Mm.
I still have something or the other on the side besides the main business. So the lesson for me was close, but take the lessons and just make sure you focus on one thing because you're focusing on too many things.
Right.
Failed, I think I agree with you, Renee. Partnerships are not my strong point.
Yep.
So the businesses actually took off, but I stepped out because I realized this is again not my strong point. If I stay in this business, it will fail.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
I'm bringing it down. So I step out. Yeah, but again, like you said, it's the lessons that are the fun part
definitely.
in retrospect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can I come in?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course. Chime in.
No,
I jump inside first.
Yes. Go.
Yeah, okay, because when Manisha was saying about like how she has many businesses before and it wasn't a failure but she just closed it. I think I don't remember I might not have shared it out in public before, but I also do multiple businesses back then. Why? Let me think. Why? Okay, why?
expose
Because
today.
it was so it was more of like passion, exciting, new ideas, and then you have friends to do it. Yeah, so my very first one was that so back then I used to have a best friend and
Used to have.
he works in the fashion line.
Okay.
Okay, so he's a fashion designer. So back then I thought it was very fun, like I was like following him for like fashion shoots. And it was a very fun thing. And then he wanted to do or run his own business. He's like, hey, okay, I support you. So I was a very supportive
hype girl.
Hype boy,
yes, I was a very supportive in terms of all the past businesses. I was just a support system. I was just a support buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether I like it or not, as long as you're passionate about it, I also suddenly become passionate about it. Okay, so that's how that was how I was back then. So passion. So fashion, then like we grow up and then he didn't continue, then I just it's not my business. So I just move on with life. Okay.
Okay.
And then the second one was funny story. It was a F&B. Yeah, so I think back then like having a booth for like celeb fairs or like all those big events, it was a thing, right? So me and my friends like they were like, hey, we go to Malaysia, then we like this idea, that we franchise the don't know what drinks or food, whatever it was. Yeah, it was like a real business, but it wasn't our business. We just borrow someone's business and just run it in Singapore. So it was fun. We did like 1 to 2 years, and after that I grew tired of it. It's like logistics, then I'm tired, then I have to make the drinks, I have to make the food, and it's just not my thing. But it was fun. Okay, so F&B. And then the latest one was thrift shop.
Thrifting lah,
Thrift,
thrifting.
thriftings. Okay. Yes, thriftings, whereby we have like our pre-loved clothes, pre-loved stuff, and then
Yep.
we have a booth, and then we try to sell it. It was fun. It was more of a hobby, I would say. But after a while, I didn't have time for that, so then it also didn't happen. I mean, it didn't continue. Yeah.
So in your opinion, right, AJ,
Yes.
what then is the key factors that may actually contribute to you? Is it just you just grew not interested with all this? Or what could be the key factor that make you not continue it?
I feel it's either like firstly it's not my passion. Like I'm jumping on someone else's passion.
Yep.
And then along the way I realized that it was fun, but I don't want to put in my energy and my effort for it. So that's
Not your
where I
thing lah.
stopped. Yeah, and then I think I might have like got bored of it. Yeah.
I think AJ and I are a bit similar in that way.
Question.
Yes.
I got a question for AJ. Like when you do that, when you jump on you jump businesses lah. You jump businesses. Have you reached to a point where you feel that you don't trust yourself? You don't feel that you don't trust yourself, like, okay, this is just going to be another business that I'm going to grow tired of, or this is going to, it's another failed business. Have you ever felt like that?
I did before. After a while, like when I keep jumping, I keep hopping businesses. Then after a while, like like how when there's a very popular saying that you don't see failures as failures, but you see them as lessons. So I think that was when with all the multiple lessons learned, and then now where I am today, I know what I'm passionate about, how to run a business, what it's like, how to manage people, expectations and stuff like that. So it's like subconsciously, but during when I was hopping, it was tiring. Yeah, so
definitely.
to agree with you, Fitri, when I was hopping, I was tired. I was like, why am I doing this? Like am I doing this for people? I think it's about time I do this for myself. So at the end, towards the end, and that was when people asked me, they're like, okay, good idea. Maybe it's not for me, or I can, connect you with someone who is in the line with you lah. Yeah, that kind of thing. So I become the connector. So no more supporter already. I become connector.
Same. It's
I support enough already.
less exhausting.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, how about Liana and Eleanor? Any experience in terms of failing in business?
Yeah, I can be dululu lah. Delulu.
Delulu.
Because like the term failure, I think wasn't in my dictionary until a few years back, because that time I thought I was meant to build a community. At that time, I didn't know all this personality or creator personality testing, right?
Yeah.
So like I actually found a partner to work on this, and eventually it failed because I didn't gel well with the person, different expectations. So that's the only, I mean, like of all the other lessons that I would consider that a failure. Like I used to be delulu, then this one this one like really, because it didn't I didn't get to achieve like what you said. The opposite of failure is the lack of success. So I didn't see the success of this going through because I wanted it to go through past failure. It is, if that makes sense. So that was so eventually I met another partner, but yeah, that's a
Another
success story to me.
story together. So does that mean for you? Does that mean for you it's more of like alignment vibes that can actually contribute, the key factors that actually contribute to failing of a business?
Yes, because if not, I mean, because of that, we didn't get to achieve our objectives well, and that really contributed to the failure.
Right.
Yeah.
Liana, any thoughts?
No.
I never fail. I never
She
fail.
never fail.
The thing about me is I tend to forget like the stuff that I Okay, I mean, wait, no. If I cannot think offhand now. Because
Okay.
I feel like I really think that those are all like really like lessons learned. I mean, like all those
Yeah,
like field
definitely. Yeah.
lessons. Yeah, like last time I remember when I taught my first Photoshop class, it was so bad. It was like I was like trying to like shout at everyone, but everyone didn't give me respect. So that was like
Wow, shock.
yeah, that was like the worst. That was the worst class ever. So, but then now I'm like telling myself like, okay, if I can go through that, I can go through anything now.
Yeah.
So that's one. I think like, when you were asking about failure, maybe it. I don't see my failures as like really like significant. Because recently I just heard about, I don't know if y'all heard about Ustazah Asma Harun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she, oh, sorry.
Hey,
Oh my
busy.
God.
Sis.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
For those
sitting on
not
the
on
floor.
YouTube.
Then my
Oh,
kaki
Renee got
sakit.
extra work to do.
Uh,
30 degrees.
Very comfortable lah.
Blooper.
Sorry, Renee.
oh, that's a failure, no? Ah? Okay.
Mm.
Okay. But yeah, I was saying because Ustazah Asma Harun, I recently read about how she recently had to shut down her business, her restaurant, right? And
Okay.
she lost about what 300 over thousand ringgit Malaysia. And the thing is, I saw like people, there were like really toxic comments about it because
Oh.
someone actually took like screenshots of all her all her YouTube videos about how she shared about rezeki.
Okay.
And then after that they saying that like, oh no, what happened to your rezeki? You know, like
Huh?
you know
Oh,
that
oh,
was
my,
so
oh,
yeah,
that's not right. That's
that's
not
not right
Good,
at all.
right.
good.
It was so toxic. And then I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
to us, because I think that's the thing about having like a growth mindset, you see. So like for
Yeah.
us, we know like okay, all these failures it's bound to
Part
happen.
of it.
It's
Yep.
because we're supposed to like get better, and we know like
Yep.
okay, she may fail in this restaurant, but she will get like a
Yeah.
lot better after
Yeah.
this lah.
Yeah.
But then yeah, so I think it
Oh
really boils
gosh.
down to the mindset because when
It is
I
gonna
read
make
the stuff, yeah, it was so bad. I was like, wow, people say you know rivers lah
Oh
and like whatever. I'm
gosh.
like, so bad. Yeah, so
Yeah. But
that
yeah, I
is that.
think failure in business doesn't have to be like monetary also. Like for me, it is actually a relationship. So it got burnt and we just didn't talk about it. I mean, we didn't talk to each other anymore. You know, it's a waste because
Right.
maybe that's why I always like share with people who have like partners. If you really happen to go on separate ways, never burn the bridges because you never know that
Yes.
you might actually need each other's support,
Yeah.
and then maybe your next business can actually propel also.
And you
Yeah.
don't want to deal with this bad blood thing
Yeah,
also, It's like
Yeah.
so
I
it's very
agree.
toxic and
Right.
exhausting.
Yeah.
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 Mentally.
Mentally. Yeah. True. True. True.
But
Yeah.
can I just jump
Yeah.
in
Yes,
Yes.
so
of
Yes.
a bit?
Yes.
course.
Sure.
I'm curious to know like when we have this lack of success in our business life, um, do you guys stop to think about how it reflects on your personal life?
Yeah. Definitely.
Right, like
It
you were
does.
saying about relationships.
Yep.
So sometimes when I see like, oh, I'm not partnering up with people,
Yeah.
then I'm like, in my life also, I cannot gel with a certain type. Actually, I didn't realize this when I was younger. I always used to lose friends. Then I'm like, why? What's wrong with
Yeah.
me? Then when I started doing business, I'm like, maybe I just cannot gel with, this either the mentality or the perspective. And I'm like, okay, I like you. I don't hate you, but I'm going to step
Yeah.
back. Yeah. So I think for me, that was, I don't know for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that's a very good point you made. Like the success depends on what are your personal values also lah.
Yeah.
Kan?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Ken. So that's the first question that I asked you.
What's the first question?
20 minutes.
Okay. Wait. So my second question, right, is whatever that you have shared earlier on, are there any decisions that you feel that you would make differently because of that failure in business? Yeah. Anyone can jump in. Maybe you can Fitri also. Like, how would you, if let's say you now you feel like, oh, I have the passion again to make bookmarks. So what will you do differently? What kind of decision would you have made differently?
I think okay for me right, okay,
Yeah,
now that
go.
we mentioned, okay, so maybe for me, if you want to talk about failure in business, for me, I don't really see it as failure.
Yeah.
But if you talk about failure in the working world, as in, being a corporate employee, I would say that was like the failure that actually sticks with me. So there are some times where I'm like thinking like, maybe if, because I remember I left the corporate workforce because like self-esteem issues, like confidence issues, even though people were telling me like, oh, I could do my work, but it's just that I was just really very stressed out. So I do wonder once in a while like, if I were to go back to the corporate workforce, would I actually like be able to do really well like this time around? Like will I be like able to like be like a director or something? I mean, if I can be a director in my business, can I be like director in like
Of a
another big
company.
organization? Yeah. So that's something that I think about lah. So,
Anyone else wanna share?
I
Come
feel
I
like
go.
oh, go please, Shiki, go.
Why
Go,
you
go,
go?
go.
It's
Go,
okay.
go, 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 go.
Right.
1, 2, 3, go.
Environment. So I
Okay.
think
Oh, important.
I
Yep.
think I thrive in a community. Like I need to be surrounded by the right people, and then I can see myself thrive. Like I cannot do things alone. Maybe that was what happened in my previous business because I was doing everything alone. And before I started that business, I was actually in a volunteering youth wing, and I really thrived during my years as a volunteer because of the group that I was in.
People, yeah.
And then I decided to run my own business. So that was maybe one of the main factors that got me improve is community, being surrounded by the right people. And I also think that I'm that was the reason why I asked the question to AJ, like did you lost trust in yourself, like you not yeah
Keep
did
on
you lose
jumping.
trust in yourself of
Yeah.
like you think this now business is not going to work because of your because of jumping so many other businesses. So um and I think what contributed to my current business, why is it propelling forward now, is because the environment that I'm in also, like you people,
Of course.
being one of the main reasons why yeah I can propel forward. So it's environment.
For you.
Change where
Okay.
you are at, change your environment.
Anyone else want to share?
Manisha got something
Yeah,
to
Manisha
say.
wanted to
Oh
say
yeah,
something just now.
sorry. I actually when we talk about like the business that I closed when I was younger, I always used to be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have quit so fast. But I came to a point eventually where I was like, you know what? I don't actually have any regrets of closing
Right.
or leaving
Yep.
or just, like, bye, Felicia. You know, it has come to a point where I'm like, all these things, they happen for a reason.
Yeah.
If I left a partnership was probably because I was not suited. If I left a business was because maybe the trend was dying, or maybe it came to a point where it was making me money, but then I started seeing it not making money, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
out, better I come out before I sink even further. So I think maybe I'm with Diana. I don't sit down and think of all those anymore. I'm like, how can
of
I be
course. Yeah.
better? It's today. What do I have to deal with today, and how am I going to learn from? I'll take some experience and then remind myself like, oh yeah, I did that the last time. I probably shouldn't do it right now. So I would not change. To answer your question, I don't think I wouldn't
Make
change.
differently.
I would just
Okay.
let the course run by itself for how it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone
Nature
else?
costs.
What? What you say? What did you say?
Nature
Costs.
let nature like run
Takes
as
Oh,
it
okay, okay.
course.
goes.
Okay,
I
okay,
only
okay.
I only heard her laughing.
Mumble.
Laughing costs. Okay, sure.
Okay, Eleanor, AJ, any thoughts?
You want to go first, AJ?
I share the same sentiments as Manisha. Because if
Okay.
I were to change back then I might not be where I am today, you see.
Not say change, but
think
how
then-
would you do differently? Like, if like for example, if it happens like again now,
Yes.
What happens
Communicate
now?
better.
are you
I
going
would
to still
Or go
Be
back
as-
to the
where you were.
okay, like for example, right, if I give an
Yes.
example of me having that failed partnership, so what I would change, what I would not say change, what I would do differently is definitely before I go into partnership, I must know what is partnership is all about first, and then I must be empathetic, I must
Yes.
communicate, I must have the understanding between partners, not just having your own thoughts and then you think that, oh, my idea works.
Yeah.
You guys as my
Yes.
partner, you guys don't know anything.
Yeah.
So that was my mindset at that point of time. So
Mm.
when I say what would you do differently, so now that I have a partner, I have community, so I know how to communicate better, like my thoughts,
Yes.
and I know how to be empathetic. Like for example, let's say for example, right now my partner is AJ. If she's not really like she's not well and down, I have to make sure that I step up. So I cannot be the person like, hey, you cannot be falling sick. You have events to come, you cannot be falling sick.
AJB,
You must
bye-bye.
keep on doing then
robot.
then definitely there will be another failed partnership. So
Yeah.
what I would do differently is definitely to learn more about people management lah. That was what my question. Yeah. So maybe if you have any other thoughts.
Maybe set expectations, not only if you
Mm.
have a partnership, because if you have a certain idea that you want to work on, like not just today only, I was talking about, I found those cube shops. They have like, you can put your plate, your things, the little things there. So I was like, I want to put my scrunchy business there. But I was like, should I just put, and then what? Then I was like, no, hold on, Manisha, you've done this before. You've just put things and then it doesn't make money and then you cry. And then I was like, no, I'm going to set expectations and I'm going to communicate with the owner of the shop and say, look, what do you need? What are you charging me for? I want to confront you ASAP before it gets bad.
Yes.
So,
So that
yeah,
is
I guess,
that's the things that you would do differently because you have already
yes.
experienced back
Correct,
then, right?
correct,
You
yeah.
already put previously there, then after you cry and not getting all the things. So if you don't want to cry anymore, so you
No.
must make sure that you make sure your expectation is being met first
Yes.
before you even put it there lah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Can anyone else? If not, I will go to my last question.
Nope,
One more
it's
question.
okay.
No, one more,
Go.
just one more.
Okay,
No,
one more question.
Okay. This one question is just like one empowering thing that I want to get from you last. What is that one question you will ask yourself about your failure in business? What would it be? If you can ask one question. Okay, maybe I share first lah. I will ask myself from the bird's eye view. Is it really a big deal? Because we tend to make big a deal of things. We like to make big
Yes.
fuss about everything, right? So we think that, like macam for
Young blood.
example, we think that one bad investment means we will never succeed. Like one bad business, one bad partnership, we will never have any partner. So we always think that quitting, will always, like for example, if you are an employee, quitting will equate to a bad boss, that kind of thing, or a bad employee. So basically that's not true lah. It's more of like what you guys say is a lesson. Your failure is just like a switch like tit, like switch on, switch off, like that. You can switch off, then you can switch on again. So it's very insignificant, it's unimportant, and it's basically not related to your success, what you have right now, and you're definitely not related to your happiness. So if you ask this question often, like, is it a really big deal that I have a failed partnership? So for example, if I failed my partnership with AJ, I mean, touch wood, cross fingers. If I were to fail my partnership with AJ, then I will ask myself, is it really a big deal? Will it then will I not get another partner later on?
Yes.
So
True.
don't make too big of a deal of things lah. If I were to ask myself.
I shall add on to that. Like you're saying about what again? Not to is it a big deal? Yes. So for me, because that time when first partnership, I was quite impulsive because the idea was more exciting than the person I was gonna partner with. So like so my question would be, are you sure?
Yeah,
Like, are you
okay.
sure
That's good. Simple. Very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna remind myself. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else have that one question that you will ask yourself?
Okay, me.
Yes, go.
Wait. Okay.
Mommy duties first.
So my question is, I will ask myself, how long will this project takes? I will set a timeline. So for example,
Expectation lah.
timeline being like, because we all work in phases. I mean, I work in phases, and everything is a phase. So I'll tell myself, okay, if I want to embark on this project, how long is it gonna take? And then I will ask myself, do I have the capacity?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the most important. Whether I
Important,
can,
ah.
I mean,
Yes.
It's
sure,
really in line with her advocacy for self-care.
yes,
Yeah.
because
Can you start a business with self-care
I
thing?
cannot, I cannot, because you see, if I don't have the capacity to do it, right, and I do it for the sake of doing it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be unhappy. The person I'm gonna work with is gonna be unhappy, and then it's gonna be already a failed business even before starting.
Yeah.
Well done.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a
so
good question.
that's my question. Okay.
Fitri, why you type in the chat? You cannot.
I terpicit enter.
Oh, she wants to ask this
planning her
question.
question.
Actually.
Comel.
So that is my question for the listeners over here. And
So what's your
do you
question? Say lah.
see
Say.
yeah. So do you see yourself doing this in 3 years' time? It
Mm.
ties back to being consistent, slow progression. It ties back to do I have the capacity? Have I created that habits to actually see myself in 3 years? If I really like this kind of question when people ask us when it comes to business analysis, all of that, like these gurus will tell us to these gurus will ask us, do you see yourself where do you see yourself in 3 years or 5 years? So I really
Oh,
like
you
that
like.
question because when I receive that question, my brain just connects the dot, like do I see myself doing this in 3 years? Like, will I still have the capacity? Because 3 years I will count my age. I'll count my age, I'll count my lifestyle, I'll see how many children I have in the future, whether I can work around my children. So all of this makes
Okay.
me bird's eye view. Let's see,
Bird's
is
eye
this
view.
something that I really want to do?
Yes.
I love it.
Manisha, you have?
I have so many questions.
Okay.
Just one last.
Okay, I have one question, Renee.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, now go first.
My question is, I think mine or Anisha?
You go, you go.
Yours.
Okay, by the way, my battery dying, so in case
Okay,
I
go first.
hilang
Yeah.
later. So
Okay, quick.
my question will be, okay, when let's say I encounter a failure or any sort of thing, I think instead of asking why is this happening to me, I'm gonna ask myself, what is this trying to teach me? So what can I learn from this lah? So that's what I'm gonna ask.
Nice. Okay, Manisha.
Manisha.
I'm a bit more, maybe a bit too analytical. I swing between two. So my questions, I guess, would be like the cost benefit
Okay.
thing, like, okay, is it going to cost me money? You know?
Okay.
And benefit can be, is it going to make me happy? Is it going to be, so it's like a many-pronged approach,
Yes.
depending on the idea and depending whether it's a partnership or anything like that. And it's like, I guess at the end of the day, the main question will be, is this going to bring me any value? And the value could be, it's like, is it monetary or is it long term, like happiness and positivity and all that, because it makes me happy doing what, like my main income now does not bring me so much money, but it makes me happy. Then I do these side projects that makes me quick bucks and then I make buy. So it's that, for me, it's that depending on how the size of the project is and the failures, that when I look back, I'm like, hey, it was a small thing. I didn't really lose much, so it's okay. Or it was a big thing and I'll be like, okay, what did I lose from this? Most of the time it's money lah. But beyond that, I am like, okay, did I lose? I always never think I lose time. I don't like saying I wasted my time, because to me, it's very rare for me to say I am wasting my time. Something is happening for you. Even watch TV sometimes, I'm like, maybe I just need to watch TV lah. It's not,
Yes, correct,
it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
Don't be so hard on
that.
yourself, huh?
My question is too many questions. Sorry.
Okay, no worries,
I think
but
too
we got
much.
that
But all are
question.
valid. All are
Yeah,
valid, say.
those are good questions. Yes,
Yes.
okay. Um, let's wrap up this episode. So I think failures can be a taboo topic. People tend not to talk about failures. Maybe if you don't want to use failure as the word, it could be mistakes, because that you can also learn from it, right? So failure, mistakes can actually walk hand in hand together, and definitely, failure is part of life, and it's also a part of business, and it's more of like, but it's more of like how you deal with these failures or these mistakes is far more impactful than how often you make them. You know, you have to learn the lessons from it. Okay. And yeah, but and also by asking empowering question, I hope you guys have written down some question that we share, and my lovely buddies over here, once you have written down, when you ask these questions often to yourself, you can then rewire your brain to view failure as opportunity, because with the opportunities, a lot of opportunities before you, success is just around the corner.
Aw,
Okay.
that's
Well
wonderful.
said.
Yes. So yes, thank you so much, my lovely buddies, for this episode
Thank
talking
you,
about
Renee.
failures,
Thank
being
you.
vulnerable and stuff like that. So while you
Yes.
wait for the next episode, please watch our previous episode about mental health, which was hosted by Liana. So yeah, see you in the next episode. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.